of the Minot FFA chapter. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people, in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to Puerto Rico and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed at the Iroquois.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The student advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the President so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are 7 members and numerous guests present, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here?
To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess.
May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this meeting of the Minot FFA chapter duly open for the transaction of business or any matters which may properly be presented. Madam Secretary, what is the first order of business?
New business.
Is there any new business?
Madam President,
Madam Vice President.
I move that our chapter host a day camp for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders.
Second.
Consideration of the question.
The consideration of the question has been objected to. All those in favor of considering the question, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
Yes, have it, and the question will be considered. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Madam President,
Madam Vice President.
I'm strongly in favor of this motion as the younger generation is the way to promote agriculture and the FFA. Therefore, by recruiting new members, it will greatly benefit our chapter, and we will get new members into the FFA. Therefore, I just stand behind me and vote yes on this motion.
Madam President.
Madam Secretary.
I rise opposed to this motion. See, we already have this program called PALS, which we work on our chapter. So if we do this, we would just be copying the same activity again. So please don't make me fail this motion.
Madam President,
Madam Reporter.
I stand with this motion. My old chapter in California did a thing called 3rd grade field day, and it had a great turnout, and the kids always loved it. So being this is a similar event, I feel that we will have a strong outcome and a strong positive influence from this event. Therefore, please stand behind me voting yes on this motion.
Madam President.
Madam Sentinel.
I encourage the Assembly to vote no on this motion. We have 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and they are too young to go into our day camp for our grade and 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. FFA kids start at 7th, 8th, and high school years, or in their high school years, and it'd be too young for them to start. So please stand behind me and vote no on this motion.
Madam President.
State your question.
Maybe turn on that thermostat on here.
I feel that the temperature in the room is fine. Privilege denied.
Madam President.
Madam Vice President.
I strongly disagree with the Sentinel, saying as, yes, other schools start in 7th and 8th grade. Therefore, we don't do that. So if we started with 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, we could get kids interested, and therefore maybe they would want to join the FFA. Therefore, I just stand behind me and vote yes on this motion.
Madam President.
Mr. Treasurer.
I rise in opposition to this motion for the following reasons. We already have a national convention coming up, and we're taking at least a week off of school, and we don't have enough time, and we don't want to take any more school effort to host a day camp for these kids. Seriously, somebody to fill this motion.
Madam President,
Madam Secretary.
I am strongly against this motion, seeing that we would have to get permission slips for all these children to be in our care for a whole day. And I feel like that would be way too hard for our chapter to do that right now with all the things we have going on. Please don't be fail it.
Madam President,
Madam Sentinel.
I move to suspend the rules which states that we must wear our FFA jackets during the meeting.
Second. It's been properly moved and seconded to suspend the rules which state that we must wear our FFA jackets during the meeting. All those in favor of suspending the rules, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, the rules will not be suspended. Is there any further discussion on the main motion?
Madam President,
Madam Reporter.
I move to lay this motion on the table.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to lay this motion on the table. All those in favor of laying the motion on the table, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, the motion will not be laid on the table. Is there any further discussion on the main motion?
Madam President,
Madam Sentinel.
I am not in favor of this motion. Yes, this course business teachers would have fun, but we already have too many community service projects going on. We have CALs and we have trick-or-treats for pants, which are also during the day. So please stand behind me and vote no on this motion.
Madam President,
Mr. Treasurer.
I agree with the previous speaker, seeing as that Minot has lots of elementary schools. We have Sunnyside and Washington, and we have to pick and choose what schools we want to do that, and that wouldn't be fair to all these other kids. So I urge the Assembly to fill this motion.
Madam President,
Madam Reporter.
I strongly agree with this motion. Earlier last year, I went to Bishop Bryan and worked with the elementary school kids and taught them how to transplant plants, and they had a great time with this. So we did similar events with our greenhouse at our school. It would just bring a lot of kids and a lot of enjoyment to them. So please stand behind me voting yes on this motion.
Is there any further discussion? Discussion. Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of the motion which states that our chapter hosts a day camp for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it, and the motion fails. Is there any further new business?
Madam President,
Madam Sentinel.
I move that our chapter run a dump tank for next home football game to raise money for the Coach for Kids program.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that our chapter run a dunk tank at our next football game and give the money to Coats for Kids. Is there any discussion?
Madam President,
Madam Sentinel.
this will be very beneficial for our chapter to host. It's not a football game, and we have a lot of events that would be going on, like dump tank, and everyone would come and have a great time. So please stand behind me and pass the motion.
Madam President.
Madam Vice President.
I'm strongly in favor of this motion. This Coats for Kids program is a great idea. We all know we live in North Dakota and it can get quite chilly. Therefore, by providing kids with jackets and coats, it will really benefit them. Therefore, I urge you to stand behind me and vote yes on this motion.
Madam President,
Madam Secretary.
I am strongly against this motion, seeing that next week is already homecoming and that's our next football game. Their other clubs are already hosting many events, and we couldn't fit a FFA event in there. So please don't fail this motion.
Madam President,
Madam Reporter.
I rise opposed to this motion. There's simply not enough room. Where will we put this dump tank at our school? There's not enough room at our football field to put this. And in addition, it's going to be cold at our football game, so no one's going to want to sit there all freezing cold and wet at a football game. So please stand behind me and vote no on this motion.
Madam President.
Mr. Treasurer.
I rise with this motion, seeing as that our state is doing a #NDFFA service program, and this would be a great community service project that would get us one more step getting closer to gold in our state. So urge the Assembly to pass this motion.
Madam President,
Madam Secretary.
limit debate to 1 minute per speech.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to limit debate to 1 minute per speech. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of limiting debate to 1 minute per speech, please rise. Be seated. All opposed, rise. Be seated. There are less than 2/3 in the affirmative, and the motion to limit debate fails. Is there any further discussion on the main motion?
Madam President.
Madam Vice President.
I move to amend by inserting the words bouncy castle.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to amend the motion by inserting the words bouncy castle. Is there any discussion?
Madam President.
Madam Vice President.
I'm strongly in favor of this motion, seeing as nobody wants to get wet during homecoming, and it's going to be quite cold that day. Therefore, by changing it to a bouncy castle, we can really get the kids involved, seeing as it's a kids' coach program. Therefore, you should stand behind me and vote yes on this motion.
Madam President.
Madam Reporter.
I strongly agree with the maker of this motion. It is a great idea. We have so many kids at the football games who are just running around, and this will give them a place to take out their energy and be more social with each other without disrupting the kids who actually want to watch the football game. So the only way to vote is yes on this motion.
Madam President.
Mr. Treasurer.
I rise against this motion for the amendment for the following reasons. High school students get pretty rambunctious, and I don't think a bouncy castle will be able to take all the things and the bouncing that these big high school students will put it through. So I urge the Assembly to fail this amendment.
Madam President.
Madam Secretary.
I rise opposed to this amendment, seeing that The only place we can get a hold of a bouncy castle is Muse Lumber and Minot, and those cost up to $150. And we do not have the funds right now to produce money for this. Please note we fail this amendment.
Is there any further discussion? Discussion. Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of the amendment which inserts bouncy castle to the main motion, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the amendment fails.
Division.
Division has been called for. All those in favor of the amendment, please rise. Be seated. All opposed, rise. Be seated. The noes have it and the amendment is lost. Is there any further discussion on the main motion?
Madam President,
Madam Recorder.
I move that when we adjourn, we stand adjourned until 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that when we adjourn, we stand adjourned until 4 o'clock tomorrow. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of the motion which states that when we adjourn, we stand adjourned until 4 o'clock tomorrow, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the motion fails. Is there any further discussion on the main motion?
Madam President,
Madam Sentinel.
I'm in favor of this motion. At our homecoming games, we have a lot of people coming in, so if we hosted it this Sunday, we would have a lot of people paying money for our COVID program. So please stand behind me and pass this motion.
Is there any further discussion? Discussion. Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of the motion which states that our chapter run a dunk tank at our next home football game and give all the money to Clothes for Kids, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
The noes have it and the motion fails. Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business that should be transacted at this time?
I have none, Madam President.
Does any other member know of any new or unfinished business which may properly come before this meeting? We're about to adjourn the meeting of the Minot FFA chapter. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag.